Welcome back. We will continue our presentation on milling machine. Just once again I will revise in few seconds. Just see here, it is a base, a strong foundation which is made up of a cast iron material, and this is a vertical structural member called as a column. Now this base is useful for withstanding very high compressive forces, as well as which is also useful to withstand the vibrations which are set up due to interaction between milling cutter and the workpiece. Now in this machinery there is a provision of a horizontal long overhang arm. This is called overhang arm, which has supported with arbor supporting mechanism, and through these holes a arbor is placed and it is once further connected to a spindle. Spindle receives variable speed through a gear mechanism, through a belt draw mechanism. We can change the speed and we can give it to the milling cutter. Now this is a long table. Obviously the milling machine is basically specified with size of the table. How much long the table size, how much of a width of this table. So based on this, milling machines are specified. Now the table is mounted on a saddle. A saddle is in between table and a knee. A knee is a bottom structure which is supporting to this saddle and the table. This entire unit has a three motions. One motion from a vertical hand feed crank, which we can move this knee, saddle and the table on this vertical elevating screw in vertically upward and downward direction in this fashion. Second, above this knee there is a provision of saddle, where this saddle you can move towards the column, away from the column, with the help of this cross feed hand wheel. This is a cross feed hand wheel. When you rotate it in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, this entire table, saddle and the knee, you can move it towards the column, away from the column. This saddle is having a dovetail slot and a knee is having a dovetail guideways provided on the top side. On this top side guideways are provided and a saddle is moving over these guideways, so that as saddle moves towards the column and away from the column, table will also move. In turn, your workpiece can also move from one place to another place, towards the column, away from the column. A third motion is given to the table through this table hand wheel, where you can move this entire table longitudinal fashion. You can move this table longitudinally. In turn, your workpiece which is mounted on this table, you can move it from one place to another place in a longitudinal fashion. So this entire structure of knee, saddle and column, on which you can mount, you can clamp, you can hold your workpiece with the help of clamping device, nut and bolt device and the plates, so that this workpiece you can bring it closer to the cutter and a machining operation will be carried out. So in this way, once again we will revise the construction. The main components of milling machine is base, which is made up of a cast iron, and it is supporting to all the parts of the machine, which is also having a strong foundation. We can say it as a strong foundation which is used to sustain the high compressive forces, and sometimes it serves as a reservoir for cutting fluid. So whatever coolant we are using it during cutting operation, that can drop in this reservoir of the base. Column is a second main element of this milling machine, which is a hollow box type shape structure, where in which a driving mechanism for the spindle as well as a dovetail guideways which are provided on the front face, due to which your knee, column and your saddle, you can slide it in vertically upward and downward direction. Column is also supporting to the overhang arm. And the third element is a knee. Knee is once again a casting that supports the saddle and the table. It slides up and down through the guideways of the column. Knee is supported and adjusted with the help of your elevating screw. One can say it as a vertical elevating screw. This entire structure, the knee means the above which a saddle and the table, you can move it in vertically upward and downward direction. Next part is a saddle part. Saddle is mounted on the guideways of the knee, that is, it is in between table and the knee. The movement of this saddle can take place in a crosswise motion. Means you can move your saddle along with the table towards the column, away from the column. Next component which is important, that is a table component. Table is a horizontal casting which is present on the guideways of the saddle. It has number of T-slots provided for the purpose of holding the workpiece, and this also provides a vertical motion by moving knee up and down. Spindle is the last part, which is important part of this milling machine, which is located at upper part of the column. It receives a power from motor, belt, gear and clutches. The front end of the spindle has got a taper portion in which you can hold your arbor, and on the arbor you can mount your milling cutter. So the second machine is a vertical milling machine. It is similar to a horizontal milling machine. The components which are used in horizontal milling machine, the same components are used in a vertical milling machine, such as base. It has also strong foundation with a vertical structural member called as a column. It has also a knee, saddle, table, same as like horizontal milling machine. It has also three motions which are received from three hand wheels. One hand wheel here for the movement of table, one hand wheel here for the movement of saddle in a crosswise movement, and one is with the help of this handle through which you can move your knee, saddle and the table in vertically upward and downward direction. Then what is the difference between horizontal milling machine and vertical milling machine is only in a location of the spindle. In case of horizontal milling machine, the spindle is in a horizontal axis, located in a horizontal axis, whereas spindle located in this machine, that is in vertical milling machine, in a vertical, along the vertical axis. Now if you see carefully, the spindle is inserted inside the vertical milling head. Vertical milling head is supported with column, and this vertical spindle at the end of which a milling cutter is mounted. Basically, this vertical milling machine is useful for producing flat surfaces on the workpiece. You can finish the flat surfaces on the workpiece. The only advantage of this vertical milling machine is this vertical milling head. If you see carefully, it has provided with a graduated scale on this device, through which you can swivel this vertical milling head, spindle and the cutter in an inclined fashion. You can swivel it, means you can make it inclined to the vertical axis. You can make it inclined to this vertical milling head axis, so that you can cut the material, you can machine, you can mill the material in an inclined fashion. That's why the purpose of this vertical milling machine is to produce the angular surfaces with the help of this swelling vertical milling head, and all other operations are same one. The entire, once again, on this vertical column front face guideways are provided, and on the knee there are horizontal guideways are provided. This entire structure, knee, saddle and table, can move vertically upward and downward on this saddle, on this guideway, and this saddle and the table you can move it in a crosswise movement above this guideways, where it is a horizontal guideway, we can call it as. So this is a vertical milling machine. Now we will go for an important bit, we can call it as a milling process or milling method. Basically there are two types of milling methods. One is called peripheral milling, second one is called face milling. Peripheral milling is classified into two categories. One is called up milling and second one is called down milling. Up milling, sometimes it is called as a conventional milling, whereas down milling, sometimes it is called a climb milling. We will see one by one. Look at this picture. If you see carefully, what is exactly a basic principle of this up milling? Try to understand. This is a rotating milling cutter mounted on the arbor, and these are having a multiple cutting edges around its periphery. Now the direction of rotation is shown here. It is in a clockwise direction, and a workpiece is mounted on the table, which is shown here, which is a horizontal workpiece. Now this surface we have to machine. We have to remove the material, we have to reduce the thickness of the material. Now from this large thickness to this minimum thickness, we can reduce the thickness up to this level. Now the workpiece is fed exactly in opposite direction to the rotation of this cutter. Cutter is rotating in a clockwise direction, whereas your workpiece is in opposite direction, it is moving in a horizontal direction. So initially we are clamping the workpiece and we are giving certain speed to this cutter. Cutter will start cutting the material from this point and slowly, gradually it will cut the large thickness of material at the end. At the start, when the rotating cutter is in contact with the workpiece, it removes very minimum thickness of material. So we can say it is 0 at this level, and if you see here, you can remove a maximum thickness of chip. You can remove this at the end. Means the thickness of removal of chip is minimum at the start and maximum at the end. Now what is speciality of this upmilling process? Try to understand. This upmilling is basically useful for doing rough work, or one can say to mill or to machine the casting and forging components, which are having a outer surface. If you see, casting surface and forging surface have a rough surface, rough impregnations around its periphery. So to remove those in a rough fashion, this type of upmilling process is useful. While cutting this material, if you carefully observe, initially the cutting force at the start is minimum, whereas slowly when it removes the larger thickness of material, it requires the maximum amount of cutting force till at the end. So at the start it requires a minimum amount of cutting force at the start of the cut, means at this position, and cutting force requirement is more at the end of this cut. So you can remove the material in this fashion, but the disadvantage of this system is what? It is very difficult to pour the coolant while a cutting operation, because of this exactly opposite direction of rotation. You cannot properly pour the coolant in between workpiece and the cutter. As all of you are knowing that whenever there is a cutting operation, large amount of heat is generated. But if you see carefully here, the cutting force as it requires gradually increasing, so large amount of heat is generated, and there may be chances of wearing out of a tool cutting edges also. So tool wear in case of upmilling is more because of high cutting force with gradual increasing chip thickness. So that's why in this milling operation, it is generally useful only for a rough work operation or rough milling operation. Next, we will later on we will compare between up milling and down milling. First of all, we will focus